I'm going to show you how we can start using the components on the ionicframework.com, the documentation here. So if you go here, and the third one here is called components, and just kind of pick one you want. Right now I'm at the cards. You can choose whatever you want. You can see there's many different things here. There's a toggle, toast, whatever. Pick one, find it, and actually start using it. So I just want to use the card here to just show how easy it actually is to implement things or materials from this documentation instead of having to write everything from scratch. And that's also one of the cool things about these frameworks. So the Ionic card is the one I'm going to use. So hover back to your Ionic here, not Ionic, your WebStorm, and I'm gonna reuse again this the front page. I'm gonna put a lot of different things in it. I am just going to paste in this Ionic card here just after my H1. Click save, and let's go see the browser in a moment, what actually happens. And now you can see it creates this kind of card here, and I can just add more to this. So whatever, host, and it'll just continue adding into this card. So this is really easy to start using them, and you can just go search them for all the things you want, really, because there's many different things. Another thing that's really cool about this is the responsive grid. It's already being built. So it's using the Bootstrap grid system, which is based on the 12 column system. Hopefully you know what that means. So 12 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 12, up to 12. So it's dividing the width of the browser no matter how big it is. So if it's this big, it's going to divide the width of the column by 12 for each column, and this big doing the same thing. That's why you have this the menu over there that suddenly disappears because of the breakpoints. How we can use this is really simple. So I'm just gonna go down here in the responsive grid over here, and I'm gonna just take this here to show you what it actually means. So the Ionic grid. And again, back to my WebStorm, and I'm just gonna delete the card here and that one as well. And I'm gonna paste in this Ionic grid. Click save and just minimize this big one here, or just go like that. And you can see now these are pasted in here. So whoa, sorry, 1, 2, 3 here. And if I if I remove one, it's going to reposition things so they're being divided equally. So the width is being divided equally among the two of them now. And I can just do the other way as well. So if I wanted 4 columns, I can just add that in as well. So now I have 4 columns, and you can do this up to 12 and down to 1 really. So everything is kind of being pre-built for you for a quicker way of constructing the app. So you don't need to do all of these things because most of them are already implemented for you. And you can, again, if you need to change specific things on the page, you can just use your add media, over there. So your media rule here, screen, and then min and max width, if you need to do it specifically to one page, or you can also create specific in this variable page here to change the overall things of design, feel, and flow of the app here. So that's an introduction to how you can start using Ionic theming to make cool stuff for your app. Try going through the documentations here and see what you can actually use from this, because there are many different things like this. You can override the SAS, which we kind of already did, and it's kind of easy, but there are also pre-built things in here. So all these things here, so Ionic sheet, blah, 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 and so on, are pre-built that you can use. So if you were to put this in your HTML as an attribution, it will actually gain these things. So in this case, it would gain 2 border pixels for the checkbox and so on. So go through the documentation, which is basically the best place to look for all these things to create, design, and tinker with your app.